everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hey, quick video for you today. Out on the trail, and I'm using two pieces of gear that I bought specifically to use with my iPhone. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning these two pieces of equipment is because I want to warn you about the need, or the feel that you need to buy, the feeling that you need to buy certain camera equipment when really you might not. And so what are these two pieces of gear? I'm always a little bit paranoid walking on the trail when I'm looking at a camera and people can sneak up behind you. So anyway, the two pieces of gear. Okay, first I'm using a handheld gimbal. It's the Zhiyun Smooth X. It's a 2-axis gimbal, and what makes it 2-axis is it goes this way around, and then it does this. Okay, so portrait or landscape. So it's only a 2-axis gimbal. It's not a 3-axis gimbal, so you'll notice that it's not nearly as stable as a gimbal that can do this, right? So I mean, it's decent. It's under $50. So of course I saw a great YouTube video. People made it look like it was the greatest gimbal ever made, and so I went out and bought it. Now, is it good? Yes, it is good. Do you need it? Maybe, maybe not. If you're gonna make a lot of content using your cell phone, then yeah, maybe it's a good investment. But I have other cameras that I use way more often, and I find if I'm gonna use my cell phone, I just use a regular selfie stick. So it's got a built-in app and everything. You can do really cool gee whiz stuff with it, so not bad. It's just make sure you prioritize what you need before you go out and buy something like a gimbal for your phone. All right, so what is the second piece of gear that I've got with me today? Well, I'm using the Lewinner Lapel Mic. You know, it's a USB Bluetooth microphone. It doesn't pair with your phone. It pairs with a dongle. It's just a little piece that plugs into the bottom of your phone. And I find that I use this way more often because even if I'm going to use my phone on a tripod, you know, at my desk, and this gimbal is like all over the place. See, we talk about gimbals, and this is the kind of stuff you have to deal with. It does its own thing. So it's supposed to be following me. That image is horrendous because of the sun. And so, you know, you twist it, and yeah, it's locked on me. Like I'm twisting the handle, and it's not moving, so that's good, but it's totally crooked. And so the motor isn't keeping it level. So this should make for a very interesting video. I look like I've been tanning for months. Hopefully I can get that rectified in post. Anyway, so getting back to this microphone, this is something that I think you'll get way more use out of, simply because, there, let's try that. Nah, I don't know. Because like I said, even no matter what you're doing, handheld, on a tripod, on a gimbal, you can use this microphone, and leveling up your audio is one of the most important things you can do when taking video with your iPhone. Because, you know, the image is always going to be what it is, but people, if they can't hear you or understand you, they're not going to watch your video. Now, the price point on the Lewinner mic is under $30. The price point for the gimbal, under $50. So they're not super expensive, but I would caution you to make sure that you know what you're going to use it for before you go out and buy it, because these kind of things will rack up over time. And so if you're, you know, buying $30 here, $50 there, next thing you know, you got $1,000 worth of ancillary equipment that you never use. So just kind of take inventory, prioritize what it is you think you need for your YouTube creations. This gimbal is really frustrating me. And hey, that's all I got for you today. Hey, just wanted to jump in here real quick and talk to you a little bit more about that last video. Let me get the actual, okay, so this is the gimbal that I was talking about. This is the Zhiyun Smooth X. And the purpose of that video was not to say this is a bad piece of gear, but what it was designed to do is to highlight the fact that you probably don't need a gimbal unless you're doing a lot of video work using a cell phone. Now, some of the struggles that I ran into today, you can see in the video. I used the gimbal and I used the app that comes with it. I think it's ZY Cam, and it changed the video profile. I was using the front-facing camera, normally records at 4K, but it exported at 1080p. And you could tell that the color science was a little bit off, and so I didn't get a really great image. Now, some of that is due to the fact that an iPhone has a very small sensor, and it's very susceptible to light, and so it got overblown very quickly. But these are some of the struggles that you could run into if you buy similar pieces of equipment and you don't spend a lot of time using them. What I did is I took this right out of the bag, I put my camera on it, started up the app, and away I went. And so unless you're using these really frequent, and this is the same for any piece of video gear that you get, that if you don't use it often enough and become very familiar with it, these are the kind of obstacles that you can, experience. Now the audio, again, didn't do a whole lot of trial and error and a lot of testing. And in the past, I've always used a lapel mic. And here, let me get a picture of that. This is the Lewinner mic that I was using. And normally I have it a little higher up on my shirt. And so you get more audio from, more vocal and less of the rocks and all the ancillary noise behind me. But today, didn't do that. Had it way down here, and so you could hear the gravel under my feet, and you could hear me, but it wasn't that crisp audio that I'm used to hearing from that lapel microphone. So placement is a big issue. So again, not trying to disparage any of these products. They work exactly as the manufacturer says they should and can perform. So this isn't a knock on them. What it is, though, is it's an opportunity for us as content creators to make sure we watch out for each other and to evaluate what our real primary reasons are for getting things so that you don't end up with a bunch of stuff that you're not going to use. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. And hey, we'll see you in the next one.